No one warned me about this part of taking a GLP-1 drug. And the truth is, I've had to stop it several times. So getting on the medication was pretty straightforward. I had a full process. Coming off, there's a lot of silence. I've been contemplating now that I'm in a place where I'm not tapering, but I am contemplating what to do in the next year. I think we need to have an idea. And I'm not sure what to do, but I know that when I did come off before my surgeries, I had a surgery in 2024 where I had to come off a whole month before my surgery. And then I had a surgery last year where I had to come off both a whole month. And then unexpectedly, I had to have surgery right before literally I was putting a tuna fish sandwich in my mouth and they said, stop, because I'm on a GLP-1 drug. So they needed me to have at least 48 hours of no eating. So I know that this is going to not be easy because even those times that I did that, the hardest part was what my body does next. Suddenly, you have some hunger that you haven't been having, and it comes back pretty rapidly. And it's not about weakness. It's not about your eating issues. It's really the fact that the drug had just kept my eating dynamic in kind of this quiet place. And guess what? When you come off, if you do it suddenly, it's suddenly reversed. So here's what you need to have in mind. And let's talk about it. This is MC of Healthy by George. I'm here each week to share with you my process of aging and wanting to be the very best version of who I am. And frankly, the GLP-1 drug Manjaro has given me something I haven't had in 40 years, a 50 plus pound weight loss. I want to talk about it because that's something that I'm contemplating over the next probably year as to what to do. And I want to start early with a plan, as you should too. If you've had some success, or let's say you didn't have 50 pounds to lose, maybe you had 20 or 25 or 30. Let's face it, there's a lot of elements that are contributing to weight issues in our society. So please join me here each week. Again, I am MC of Healthy by George. I've been doing research for the past 30 years. So please subscribe. I'd love it if you would. I think that this whole contemplation of understanding the science is really important because we know that in the studies with semaglutide that people came off, 2/3 of them that lost weight, they regained it in the next year after stopping. And that's really disturbing. And I know in the Mounjaro study, people who stopped and switched to a placebo, they regained weight, but their weight regain was lower. It was 14% of those who stayed on the drug and kept losing. And that was the Surmount study, which was published in 2024. So if you felt like your body is fighting you, which it will, in the month before each of my surgeries, I was ravenous. But I knew I needed to eat bulky food, quantity, and low calories, but high protein. And that would help me deal. But I did that with the guidance of a wellness coach. I did it with the guidance of a nutritionist. If you have health insurance and you're getting this through your insurance, they have a nutritionist available to you. You should talk to a wellness coach because that is really the key for success. These medications are not a one and done. They aren't. We know that obesity and a lot of the things that are happening with us is not just about a single pill that's fixing things. In the real world study of over 8,000 patients, almost half of them maintained or kept losing weight after stopping their medication. But guess what? That doesn't make headlines. And often this is a slower process, and often it was done with a slower tapering while you did more lifestyle support as you went to a lower dose. And this was published in 2026, just recently, in the Cleveland Clinic, talking about diabetes, obesity, and metabolic syndromes. This is so important. And people who hold their progress is really, I think, so successful. Even if you haven't lost or gained like myself, I'm in this plateaued area, but I am learning that it is about me gaining muscle. I'm gaining muscle, and that's what you want, to gain muscle. And that isn't something that is easy. So if you're thinking, and this is what I'm thinking about, how to come off of these drugs, you have to do two things. You have to talk about this with your doctor and consider a gradual step down instead of a hard stop. You need to really figure out a way to increase your protein. You need to increase your strength training, your sleep, all the stuff that's behavioral, and it's something we have to do daily. Your medications have given you a jump start of whatever is happening with your metabolism. It's put where that metabolism component has not been working on pause. So now that your metabolism has gotten a reframe by using these medications, you really need to contemplate, how can I do this when I am thinking about coming off the medication? Don't do it alone. Plan it. Talk to a nutritionist. Talk to your doctor. Talk to a wellness coach. Your prescription plans, they do have some help, and they won't let you do it alone. They will encourage you. So seek more help. Be gentle with yourself, because I'll be honest with you, that's what's been helpful for me, because when I had to come off of it last year, I gained 5 pounds. I was so proud of myself after eating all that hospital food, which was mashed potatoes and pudding, because my doctor kept saying, don't reduce your calories. You need those calories for healing. I was worried because if you've had an eating disorder, you're an emotional eater like me, you just worry that suddenly you're going to balloon. I keep thinking every time I put a mouthful of mashed potatoes in, I'm suddenly going to gain 50 pounds back. And that's my real fear, because frankly, I've worked so hard all my life and not been successful. And I always feel like sometimes with the GLP-1 drug, Mounjaro, that I'm on, that somehow if I come off of it, I'm suddenly going to balloon back up to the 55 pounds that I lost. And that would be my fear. But it's irrational. I know this, and I have to keep telling myself that. But I think that's what happens to our minds. We don't allow them to recognize that there are these behavioral things that you can do, and to be kind and supportive to yourself, because our thoughts are betraying us. You need to allow yourself to recognize that you've done a good job, that you are going to be able to continue to be successful, even with your process of coming off of these drugs. So this isn't medical advice. This is about encouraging you to find a plan that is multifactorial. It encompasses the lifestyle that you've had. It talks about movement. It talks about food choices. It's like me giving myself a challenge. I'm doing a 90-day sugar reduction, and I'm on day 11. Yeah. No, day 12. I'm on day 12. And frankly, you know what? It really got really scary. I was with some friends the other day, and the young lady said, oh, let's share a dessert. And I'm not thinking, right? Not thinking, oh, I'm on a sugar fast. I'm giving up sugar. Out comes the dessert. All of us have spoons. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I can't have any of this. I can have a raspberry. Oh, man. Let me tell you, that was not simple. And I really didn't want to say this in front of everyone, that I'm on a sugar fast or I'm giving up sugar for the next 90 days. I just wanted to allow it to be just natural and normal, that I was just going to eat a raspberry. I didn't bring it up at all. And it was tough because, man, I'm a chocoholic. And doing this for the past 12 days has not been simple, but I am feeling a sense of success because it's easier to just say no sugar. I'm not even eating my unreal treats. I have those mini coconut and mini chocolate nougat unreals that have low sugar. I've even taken them off the table because their nutrition is not very high. I'm really looking for nutritious food. And I want to really understand at a depth of what really makes me feel satisfied. And frankly, I bought some cherries the other day. I gave myself 25 cherries. It was delicious. It was so satisfying to eat those cherries. They were yummy. They're in season. And I would much rather think about, if I'm going to have sugar, having something like some cherries or some berries or some blueberries or some raspberries versus a dessert. And I don't think this is forever because I'm a chocolate girl. I do love me some chocolate, but I do think it's useful for me to figure out foods that are satisfying, nutrient dense. And on the other end, I'm working towards moving, frankly, which even dangling the reward in front of my face is not simple. I hear you. Behavioral change is not easy. That's why we need support. We need all kinds of tools. I'm not one of those people that just click, I can do this and my behavior has changed. No way, Jose. So if you've been on a GLP-1 drug and you have found some success, I hear you. I really do. And I just encourage you that you need support because it's never just about the medication. It's about figuring out a process of reducing the drug, doing things different about your movement, your food, your nutrition, all of those things. And that's what's going to make us have long-term success and not have weight gain just because we've come off the drug. So I hear you. I'm in the same place. I'm not sure what's going to happen over the next year. In August, it'll be my 3 years of being on Manjaro. I am finding some success of muscle increase, but I'm being very intentional. I'm doing this 90-day sugar fast, which is not simple. Do something that gets you engaged. That's really the truth, whatever it is. Do anything to engage yourself, heighten your awareness in your body and mind process for health, for longevity. Because truthfully, it's about wellness care. We don't want illness care. We want wellness. We want to be as healthy and the best version of who we are well into our 80s and 90s. So please, my friend, recognize you have this one precious life. Let's live it to the fullest. And if you enjoy this, please subscribe, please share, please. It would mean so much to me. Be well. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey. Because remember, your body, your well-being are our most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.